God says to his people in Joel 2:27 that I am about to prove myself in the midst of my people so that they will not be ashamed. How was he going to do that? He says in verse 28, I'm going to release my spirit upon all flesh. And then he says, your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams, and your young men will see visions. But I want to zero in on the old man. What does it mean to be an old man of Zion? Now, the phrase old man is not common in biblical title, but when used either symbolically or spiritually, it refers to someone who has matured in the faith, been seasoned through experience, and has remained rooted in the covenant that they have with their God. So in my opinion, one of the descriptions we will give to these old men will be that they are mature in their faith. Age in years may apply, but more importantly, it speaks of spiritual maturity. The second thing I see with these old men, that they are the keepers of faith and covenant. The Bible says in Psalm 71 verse 18, even when I'm old and gray, do not forsake me, my God, till I declare your power to the next generation. David says, it is incumbent upon me to hand the baton to the next generation. That tells me that an old man in the spirit is not just a mature elder in the faith, but also a keeper of the faith. And then lastly, one of the descriptions that defines who an old man is a man of prayer and wisdom. The Bible declares in Lamentations 5:14, the elders have ceased gathering at the gates, and the young men from their music. Jeremiah was crying out to God, saying, when I look at the gates where elders should gather and share wisdom, there was none there. That means that when you want to find an old man, you find them at the gate of prayer, at the gate of wisdom. That means wisdom and prayer goes hand in hand with the old man. Now, having known this, the question is, are you mature? Are you a keeper of the faith? And are you a man or woman of prayer? If that is the case, then this series is for you, because you're about to understand why the dream world is open to you. Stay tuned.